I don't want to put words in your mouth after we've seen here now. Have you changed your thoughts on Westbrook?
Not a little bit in this respect.
Okay.
They're climbing in the standings, guys.
I
They're
know.
a game out of fourth place in the West.
12 and 8.
And 2.5 games out of third. And I will say this, because guys, we talked earlier in the week, I was somewhat steadfast on the MVP coming from a team that finishes top 3 in the conference because of just the extraordinary performance that Russell Westbrook has put on here. And not only the volume of triple doubles, but what he's led his team to do they need every bit of this stuff. They need all this from him. And the way they're winning games now, and at 12 and 8, if they landed in the 4 seed, I think he'd probably get MVP. That whole top 3 thing, if Westbrook keeps performing the way he is, will get stretched a little bit just because this is a superhuman performance. This is one of the worst teams in the league without him, and he's got this team as a top 5 team in the Western Conference right now. It's really incredible what we've seen.
So I at least like that you've knocked it down to number 4, because you did say originally that the MVP had to come from one of the top 3 teams.
Correct. And the reason I say that is because I think when you get a performance over an extended period of time, and again, we're 5 weeks into the season, a lot of track left in this race, kids. But when you get a performance that is that good, that beyond what everybody else is doing, I think you have to stretch that a little bit. I really do. Again, what he does for his team will be more important than all the triple doubles. And that's so important for me to stress here. But he's doing a lot for his team. They're 12 and 8. They're a pretty good basketball team right now, and I think they could be as good as 14 and 6 if they had played harder defense. I mean, this is a decent team, and it's a decent team because Russell Westbrook is superhuman right now. Here's the other thing you got to keep in mind. I've been in a locker room after the game a couple times this year with Westbrook. He's icing both knees. He's icing both ankles. There was a day last week he couldn't stand to do his media availability. He had to sit. He's running himself down pretty good here. And again, healthy right now, and he only knows one speed, and that's 90 miles an hour with his hair on fire. But by the same token, watching him in his minutes and how it wears on him physically is going to be an enormously important factor, not only for the MVP race, but for the Thunder as well.
Can the Thunder win without him scoring triple doubles? Is that possible?
In some cases, yes, Alexa, but in most cases, no. They need every bit of the rebounding. I mean, Enes Kanter had a joke after the game last night. He's going to start boxing them out to try to get more rebounds. But the thing is this, they need, and maybe without the rebounding, because they could be a good rebounding team without him. Kanter, Adams, Sabonis, Robertson's a decent rebounder. You could get the defensive rebounds without him, but it's better for them if Westbrook gets them because he's a one-man fast break. He gets a rebound and he's gone. The other thing is, can you do it without the assists and points? Absolutely not. This is a offensively challenged basketball team.
Right.
Westbrook is creating shots and points for these guys. They're not getting otherwise. And by the way, Samaj Kristen is their backup point guard. Like, they don't really have any kind of established backup point guard because Cameron Payne is out for a big chunk of time this season. And so that's the other thing.
Can I interject, Geltzeiler? I want to interrupt because what you just said about the other players on the team. Why aren't teams doubling and tripling him so that they just say, look, Roberson, Kanter, you beat us. You try to beat us. We're going to shut down or try to shut down Westbrook.
Because those other players can beat them inside, and Russ will find them inside. You saw it the other night against the Knicks. What happened? They played bully ball late in that game, and Kanter and Adams threw around Noah and Porzingis like they were rag dolls on Monday night. So the thing is you can try different strategies to get the ball out of Westbrook's hands. But if you're going to double Westbrook, it means you're going to be living without numbers on the other end of the floor. And although, again, they're an offensively challenged basketball team, they're by and large a smart basketball team. They're not a dumb team. So ultimately, if it's not Westbrook, they know their strength lies with the big guys inside, and they will look to hammer that when they can. Keep one thing in mind about this OKC team, Michael. This Billy Donovan is an excellent coach. He's not a good coach. He's a great coach. This is a guy that I watched last year out-coach every way coming and going in a second-round playoff series, the great Greg Popovich. He is terrific. So right now, Westbrook's doing this out of necessity, but if you try some other strategies, Donovan has a group that he can keep discipline on the offensive end of the floor that will hurt you nonetheless. And by the way, getting the ball out of his hands is only going to pad his assist numbers more.